for my city, I do this for my town. We gotta count those up and we gotta ring it loud. It's going down, down, down. Yeah, you know it's going down, down, down. I do this for my city, I do this for my town. We gotta count those up and we gotta ring it loud. It's going down, down, down. Yeah, you know it's going down, down, down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Maroon Maniacs. I am Jay Stubbs, followed with my co-host, Derek Thomas.
What's going on, Bulldog fans? We are 2-0.
Woo!
Woo! 2-0.
Very 2-0.
We'll be 3-0 after this Saturday. Watch.
So, well, let's go ahead and dive right into this week's episode. First of all, I'd like to take a moment of silence for September 11th, 2001.
Yeah, I mean, today is the day, the anniversary of the September 11th attacks. And stuff, September 11th, 2001, I was probably in class on the campus of Mississippi Valley State University. And it's just sad that happened like that. And, you know, so many people's lives were impacted. So many people's lives were lost. Our country changed. So much changed due to those attacks. And you can never forget what happened, man. Can never forget.
Completely agree with you. I think I was working at this SSRC on Mississippi State at the time and was getting ready to go to class. I think I had a 9:30 class maybe. Maybe it was a 10 o'clock class. And we had heard the plane hit the tower the first off. And we were like, what really happened? So, of course, everybody runs to the conference room. They turn everything on, and we start watching it. And then we see the second plane hit. And it was just like a gut-wrenching feeling. And then turn around for me, I got to go hop on the shuttle and head on to campus and don't even know what's going to happen for the next, couple hours or whatever. So definitely a touching moment, definitely a devastating moment. You think of all the men and women we lost. I think it was around 3,000 civilians. That's not including the 300 plus firefighters and EMTs and police officers and, like you said, the 3,000 civilians in the building. So just like take a moment of silence for them right now. And then definitely stay tuned for the end of the show. We have a special tribute for that. So if you hang in with us, you'll enjoy it. Trust me. So moment of silence, please.
I'm like so pumped because, until Stubbs brought this up, I didn't know this existed, So, yeah. We'll go ahead and start us off, man. First topic.
All right. So first topic, we're going to do a Mississippi State Southern Miss Mustard Buzzards recap.
Mustard Buzzards.
So what'd you think of the game?
Well, I'm glad that we won. The defense played better, but we gave up 2 long touchdowns. One on a busted coverage, one the wide receiver Adams, who was either the nephew or a family member of a Bulldog fan, because she talked a little noise about what her nephew was going to do. He did have an impact, but it wasn't enough. He had a beautiful diving catch in the end zone, but it wasn't enough. We sent the Mustard Buzzards home, back to Hattiesburg, back to their nest, which that's what we both predicted. We both picked that game. USM was going to play us hard. It's an in-state rivalry game with a series that we had. I think we lost a couple, like almost 9 straight at one point. So we've been dominating them or beating them the last couple of games that we've played them, except for that game. Think Dak's senior year, where it was tough. It was tough to put them away in Hattiesburg. So I mean, we know they're going to give us our best game. You know, they're going to play hard. They want to be recognized. You know, we're in the SEC, and you know they're in Conference USA, so they want to try to take out an SEC team. So I'm glad it didn't happen. You know, I'm glad we were able to put the game away. We had some issues in the game as a team, though, but man, you hate to see things like that happen like that. But that's part of football, man. And just talking about the injuries that we had in the game, and we had quite a few injuries. Some players came back. One major player did. Everyone knows our starting quarterback, Tommy Stevens, injured his throwing shoulder. He didn't return, but he was on the sideline, Stubbs, you know, cheering his team on, and hopefully he'll be able to start against Kansas State, because right now he gives us the best chance to win, where right now we are not even favored to win on a lot of boards. I have to go look at the line. I think we are the underdog in this game. I don't think so, but I've been seeing people say we picked to lose.
If you look at maybe message boards, maybe depending on what message board you're on, but I believe ESPN has this as like a 6.5 point favorite, like a 75% prediction. But I think it also depends, like you said, on QB and who's injured and who's not, and stuff like that. I mean, Tommy Stevens, you look at his first 2 drives was like boom, boom. You know, he's 9 of 9 at first until he gets injured and throws his one incomplete pass off the sidelines. But before that, I mean, he looked great. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for years. Could you imagine if we actually, no offense, if we actually had this type of offense with the defense we had last year? Like, it's a totally different outcome on what this season or any season we could possibly have. And that's the one thing I hate being a Bulldog fan, is that we never seem to put all the pieces of puzzles together all at the same time. We either have a great defense, or we have a great offense with a mediocre defense, or a horrible defense. So one of these years, maybe it's this year, who knows, we can put everything together. So you look at the injuries, like you said, Tommy Stevens get injured, Kylan Hill goes down, scares you, Cam Dantzler gets shaken up.
Yeah.
Like
Nick Gibson
goes out. I mean, there was a lot of injuries. I was like, please, let's just stop the game. Can we just somehow flip the game off?
Right. And then Moorhead was calling running plays for Garrett Schrader. Like, why? Don't let him run it. You know, we can't get him hurt, you know. So
here comes a walk-in quarterback in, you know, with this
Logan
Garrett
Burnett.
Schrader and his beard, knocking the helmet off twice.
Yeah, Garrett Schrader in that beard game.
I like to follow the Garrett Schrader beard on Twitter. I don't know how long it'll be in effect, depending on what happens with this beard game. But stay tuned for that, folks. So we talked about injuries. Let's talk about the monster, Kylan Hill.
The monster.
What you got on him this week?
Man, Kylan Hill had an awesome game. Just think if he would have played the whole game. He rushed for 123 yards, 1 touchdown on 14 carries. That's averaging 8.8 yards a carry. Had a highlight hurdle, a highlight dragging the USM defender run. I mean, Kylan Hill is just showcasing his abilities at the highest level. I mean, 320 yards, I think 322 rushing yards to start the season. I mean, that's unbelievable, man. I mean, we have a bona fide Heisman candidate, because if you look at this Pro Football Focus Heisman watch for week 2, there is no mention of any Ole Miss players.
Who? What?
No Ole Miss players. You know how they think we're Ole Miss. We got the best players. Well, not now. Kylan Hill, even though he's ranked number 9 on this list, he's on the list.
I know Ole Miss has a draft player that can be able to get drafted this year.
Maybe Benny, though, but hey, they ain't got nobody. They don't have a Heisman candidate. Matt Corral's not going to be a Heisman candidate. Scotty Phillips not going to be a Heisman candidate. But we have a Heisman candidate. Eat that, Rebels.
Yeah, like you said, Kylan Hill, he has 320 yards rushing, which is second in the nation, and I believe 2 touchdowns. So, like you said, imagine if he had played the whole game and not got injured. And that's what scares me because I didn't think he was coming back. And when they put him back in, I was like, he looked pretty gruesome. Not gruesome, but it looked like,
Somebody
we're done for
jumped on his leg.
Like, we're done for the day. We're going to stick Gibson in. We'll stick in everybody else.
He gets in and he gets hurt.
Yeah, and then Gibson gets hurt. I forgot about that one, too. So, we'll see. We'll preview Kylan Hill and the later on in the show with Kansas State. But, like you said, currently the number 10 player for the Heisman candidate in the PFF poll. I believe they've also got a Twitter handle out there now, Kylan for Heisman 8. That's out there. I started following that the other day. I know you follow that and you showed it to me. So if he can stay healthy and we can win 8+ games, he may make it there. He may make it to New York.
You think? I mean, if he puts up the stats, yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, to have a running back in there because not it's going to be like 4 quarterbacks. You're going to have Jalen Hurts and everybody else there. The no defensive league out there in Big 12 land. Jalen Hurts will have the stats, whatever. And that's the one thing I hate about the Heisman's because I don't always feel like it goes to the best player in the country. I feel like it goes to the best player on the best team in the country, which doesn't always translate to the best player. And you can see most of the times in NFL, the Heisman candidate seems to be a bust sometimes. I don't know. But shout out to Kylan. You got anything else on this subject before we head into the next one?
I'm just glad that he's getting the respect that he definitely deserves. I mean, he's a big-time player in his true junior season. I think if he stays healthy and puts up the type of numbers that he can put up in this Joe Moorhead offense, I mean, they're already comparing him to Saquon Barkley. When Joe Moorhead got the job, everyone was saying, okay, we have Saquon Barkley's coach coming to Mississippi State. We have Kylan Hill. Oh, yeah, he's going to be the truth. And he definitely showed out last year, when he got a chance to carry the ball, a very explosive runner, showing out the first 2 games this year. Now, what is he going to do for an encore against Kansas State? We know what he did last year in Manhattan, ran all over him. Can we run all over him again? I hope so. We need him to. We need him to run for 200 yards again and a couple touchdowns. Maybe catch a couple touchdowns through the air, too, from whoever's throwing the ball. Be it Schrader or Stevens or KT or Maiden or Burnett. I don't care as long as they don't throw no interceptions, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. The big thing is as long as he gets healthy or whatever. That's the biggest key. I just have one quick question for you.
What's that?
Do you think that if he has a monster year, would you see him coming back for a senior year?
No. He's gone.
That's my thought. Running backs have a short lifespan. And so if he puts up a monster year this year, I could see him leaving. No offense, I'd love to have you back, but do what's best for you and your family. So, all right. So we're going to take a commercial break real quick, and we'll come back and pick the show right back up where we were.
All right, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break with more of Maroon Mania.
Hey, guys. Let's talk about my second sponsor, and that is the Start Vegas Snowballs. They have 2 locations to help serve you in the greater Starkville, Mississippi area. I highly suggest you check them out on their Facebook page. Their pictures will make you want to lick your phone. Other than that, take my word for it. Check them out. 113 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive in Starkville, Mississippi. Other one is located at 216 Loomis Drive. Enjoy.
I hope you enjoy that commercial from Starkville Snowballs. I mean, Stubbs, man, you shared that snowball. It looked so good, man. I wish I could have licked the screen, man.
They do look yummy. And I know a lot of people